Once you have finished task number 1 and you have submitted all of your reading quizzes within that document, and again, if you need help turning those in, let me know, I can help you. Once you've finished task number 1, you are ready to complete task number 2. And I am so excited about this. I have to be honest with you. I did not make this up. I found this on a website for teachers, and this was brilliant. And I'm so excited. I hope you guys have fun with this project. It's called Element Superhero or Villain Research Project. So let's take a look. When you open this up, you're going to see 2 PDFs. Leave this one alone for right now. Let's go ahead and open this one. Element Superhero Research Project. And you're going to go ahead and copy this into GoodNotes because I don't think you can do anything on Schoology. Perhaps you can, I'm not sure. I'll show you what I mean in a second. There's some links later on that I'm not sure if you have to go to GoodNotes for the links in order for that to work, or if you can use Schoology. I'm not quite sure. So here's the deal. You guys are going to do a little bit of research, and you are going to get to choose whether you want to create a superhero or a villain. Your assignment is to personify one element on the periodic table. Your chart's physical features and personalities must relate to the real physical and chemical properties of the element. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a raft project, but it's a creative writing project, and it's where the R stands for role. So your role is a comic book author, and you are promoting a new comic book character at the annual Comic-Con convention. Your audience will be the Comic-Con visitors. The format will be an advertising poster. So you're going to be creating an advertising poster that features an illustration of your comic book character and a biography that explains his or her characteristics. And the topic, you're creating a new comic book hero or villain with characteristics related to the physical and chemical properties of an element on the periodic table. I'm so excited for these. I can't wait to see what you guys make. All right, here's your directions. So step number 1, you must choose one element from the periodic table that you would like to personify into a superhero or a supervillain. You must sign up on the sign-up sheet provided, and there will be no repeats of elements allowed. Here's how that's going to work. On the next class period that we meet, so this is either going to be Thursday or Friday, at the very beginning, I have a name generator that I'm going to use, and it will be completely random. I'm going to allow you guys, whoever gets picked first, gets first dibs of the element. And I'm going to show you the sign-up sheet so you can kind of get an idea. Start thinking about what elements you would pick if you could. So step number 2, once you have your element, you're going to research the element using reliable websites and fill out the 2-page element fact sheet provided. So that's required. You've got to do that. Step 3, you're going to create an eye-catching illustration of your superhero or your supervillain. They must be fully colored and in school-appropriate attire and gear. You're going to attach illustrations of the periodic square and the atomic model of your element somewhere near your superhero. You can do this by using clip art, or you can do hand-drawn illustration. And your superhero or villain's name should be noticeable and must include the name of the element. For example, gold's symbol is AU. So the superhero for gold could be Golden Audrey. Get it? So clever. You're also going to create a catchphrase near your illustration. A catchphrase is a word or expression that's used repeatedly to represent or characterize a person. So below are some examples of catchphrases, and these are real catchphrases from superheroes. So, in my brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. Of course, that's the Green Lantern. And Mr. Freeze's is, my name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it is the chilling sound of your doom. And then the Thing says it's clobbering time. I don't know the Thing. Is that the one that looks like a rock? Is he in? I don't even know who he's with. You guys will have to explain that one to me. All right. Then step number 4, you're going to create a 1-page written biography or a backstory for your superhero or villain. Your biography will explain how your character acquired superpowers. So think about Peter Parker got bit by a spider, and that's how he became Spider-Man. So you got to think of how your character got its superpowers. And you need to include at least 5 physical properties and 2 chemical properties in your story. Underline the physical and chemical properties within your story. So kind of a fun project. I hope you guys are going to be excited about this one. I'm going to give you a chance on your own. You can look through your rubric, and I'll probably go over this with you on the day that you guys are actually working on this. But here's the rubric. And then this is what I was talking about, the element sign-up sheet. So this has all the elements and then student names. And I'm going to allow one of these per class period. So in other words, not for the entire 7th grade. So there may be 4 people who are working on iron or silver or whatever. Okay. There's some really cool elements in here. I hope you guys don't pick ones that are super, super simple. Of course you can. It would be fine, whatever. But some fun elements I'd love for you guys to get to know. Okay. Down here it says any element that's not on the list must be approved by the instructor. Here's the reason why. Some of these elements are pretty, they exist, but there's no known function for them. And so you'd be researching something that's like it's not that it doesn't exist, but there's not a whole lot of information for some of the elements. So make sure that you pick one that is approved by me. All right. So here's what I want to know, if you can get to these links from Schoology, or if you have to download this in order to get there. But in order to help you do some research, this teacher who created this lesson was just amazing. And she included 10 links. I've gone to all 10. They all work. There's some really great ones. Like this one has video clips about almost every single element on the periodic table. And the guy that is in the video, like, that's his real hair. It cracks me. Anyway, there's lots of, this is a really cool periodictable.com. Has some neat, really good information, good pictures on the elements, lots of research information. There's some dynamic periodic tables, so you guys click on things and you move them around. This one's got some videos and stuff too. So lots of, all 10 of these websites I've looked at, and they're wonderful. Okay, so here's your fact sheet. You've got a couple fact sheets, and this is going to help you organize your information. So here's your general information. I want to know whether you are picking a superhero or a villain. What is your comic character's name? Remember, it has to tie in it with the element somehow. The element name, the element symbol, the atomic mass, and the atomic number will go right here. Number then mass. I want to know how many protons there are, how many neutrons, number of electrons, the group, period. Is it in the metal group, non-metal, semi-metal? And then what is the element family name? And again, you guys should have learned what all of those things are in the PowerPoint presentation that you took notes on previously. If you are still having questions about that, you're not quite sure, let me know. Or better still, go back to your notes and find out what those things mean. So in your research, you're going to, again, click on any of these links to find out some information. I want to know what the physical properties of the element are. So what's the state of matter at room temperature? What color is it? Is it transparent, translucent, or opaque? What's the density? Mohs hardness means like how hard is that element? Is it easy to scratch? Does it go into powder real easy? Or is it like a like talc is a number 1 on Mohs hardness scale. It breaks super easy. And diamonds are a 10. So that gives you a scale. And you should be able to find out Mohs hardness. It will be a number, and you should be able to find that in the links that you go to in these different websites up here. Tell me what the texture is. Is it malleable? Remember, malleable means I can change its shape. Think about Play-Doh. Play-Doh is malleable because you can squish it and make it turn into a different shape. Is it ductile? Ductile means can I pull it into a wire? Is it brittle? That means does it break easily? Is the element magnetic? What's the melting point? What's the boiling point? What's the freezing point? Does it conduct electricity? And so you're going to write down the physical properties of the element, and then you're going to describe next to it how that property will relate to your hero or your villain. So let's say if this is transparent, maybe your hero will be invisible. Does that make sense? Let me know if you've got questions about this. You must link at least 5 physical properties to your comic book character. So you don't have to link all of these, but you have to fill all of these in and link 5 of them at least. Okay? Moving on, element superhero villain research page number 2. Now we're looking at the chemical properties. And again, the chemical properties, you'll find these in those pages. What's the reactivity? Is it flammable? Reactivity means, does it react with water? Some elements will react violently with water. They'll blow up when you put them in water. Like, did you know this? Potassium. What's in bananas? Potassium is highly reactive to water. If you put solid potassium in water, it'll spark. It'll start on fire. Crazy. Is it flammable? What's the toxicity? And again, link at least 2 of those chemical properties to your comic book character. Hero or villain? Ooh, I have great ideas for reactivity. Flammable. Ooh, I love it. Okay. And then other relevant information. When was your element discovered? Who discovered your element? This is made up. No, I'm sorry. It's not made up. This is information. I was thinking you're superhero. This is information, again, that you can find on those websites. When was your element discovered and who discovered the element? Where is your element commonly found in nature? And what are some compounds that are made from your element? And then you guys will find all kinds of fun facts about your element, all kinds. Just highlight 2. What are 2 of the most interesting fun facts that you find out about your element? And then I want you to relate that to your character and link as many as you can. Remember, your superhero or villain is based on the element. So I really want you to make those connections with the element. Okay? And then last but not least, here's your comic character biography. I want to know, this is the part that you make up. What is your character's backstory? So remember when I said Peter Parker is Spider-Man and he became Spider-Man because he got bit by a spider, or Bruce Wayne was an orphan and then I don't know how he became Batman. He became Batman somehow. And so what's your superhero or your super villain's backstory? Did anybody watch The Joker, the movie? Ooh, that's a good movie. That was a good example of a background or an origin for a villain. That was excellent. Okay, so it's just one page. I want you guys to fill this out. Let me know where your character came from, how he or she became a superhero or a supervillain, how they got their powers. That's all there. So then this sheet is going to get printed off and it's going to go on the back of your poster. And I've got some examples of some superheroes. Are you ready? So this is Golden Audrey. See? She's golden. I'm going to make this full screen. Okay, so there's Golden Audrey. And if you remember in the rubric, there's some things that you have to include. You have to include the name of your superhero or supervillain has to tie into the element. So gold has a symbol of AU, and so there's the name. She's wearing a gold plated armor suit. You have to include the square from the periodic table of element. So it has the name, the symbol AU, the name of the element is gold. This is the atomic number, and this is the atomic mass. Okay? And then finally, this is how many protons, neutrons. This is the electron square. You'll be able to find this for sure on those websites. Just look for them again. If you've got any questions, let me know. But this shows you where all of the electrons are. So the protons and the neutrons will be here in the nucleus. And this is how many electrons are orbiting around the nucleus in gold. It's quite a lot, but it makes sense because there's 79, right? Okay, so there's an example of a completed superhero. Here's another one. Oh, and her catchphrase. Her catchphrase, beware my golden stare. I can turn bad guys into metal with my deadly glare. That got cut off. It's pretty good. All right, that's Golden Audrey. Here's another one. This is a villain. Chlorine Gaseous Gary. And he has no nose. Chlorine Gaseous Gary. Ooh, look at him. Scary. Okay. So here is his square from his tile square, whatever you want to call it, from the periodic table. Chlorine is atomic number 17. This is the symbol, Cl, name, chlorine, and this is the atomic mass. Okay? And then you've got the electrons and the electron rings, the model of the element right over here. So you can see this person really embellished, really added a lot. Cool costume, really neat, no nose, don't get it, but it's okay because he's gaseous. Gaseous, chlorine, gaseous Gary. And his catchphrase, I've been around since World War I, killing my foes with deadly gas just for fun. He's bad. Okay, so I hope you guys are excited about this. I'm going to go back because I want to show you I've got some templates for you. You certainly don't need to use these. Okay, if you don't want to, you want a freehand. Some of you guys are awesome drawers. I'm going to have this electron file, or digital file if you want. Actually, I don't like that because I can't see it very well. There we go. So here's a hero, and then there's his catchphrase. Okay, so you guys can fill this in. And then here is a heroine. And here's one, ooh, fire. That would be, of course, if your element is flammable. Get it? And then here's your heroine. She's flammable too. Here's a villain, maybe maybe a hero. I don't know. Maybe this guy's a hero or a heroine that's a villain. I don't know. Yeah, shoot. Heck yeah, you do you, boo boo. Okay. Or this little person right here. She looks like she's pretty, secretary, just going about her daily life. But that costume could be something that's really awe-inspiring. And then, ooh, he does not look like a good guy, but he could be a good guy. And then here's her. Aren't you excited to make these? I think I'm so excited. So again, you guys certainly don't have to use these templates. I'll have these on the digital file. You can put them in GoodNotes and do whatever you want with them. Or I will have some hard copies of this. Or if you want to just make one of your own, you totally can. Okay? All right, you guys, have fun with your research project. Let me know if you've got any questions.